Hello, I'm Pia Jyoti Katru coming to you from ITV Gold Studio in New Jersey and welcoming you all to our weekly show, The American Dream Real Estate 101, where we talk everything real estate and we'll be getting answers from the experts. The real estate market is always shifting and now is no exception. While there was a period not too long ago when buyers tended to have the upper hand, most markets are now presenting challenge to buyers. So in today's show, we will be talking to Makarand Bor, who is a happy buyer and has won a bid in this competitive buying. And we will hear about his experiences along with our very own award-winning salesperson, Alka Aneja of On Track Realty, who has been doing real estate for more than 27 years. She's also the president of Humbled by Your Service, a charity formed during COVID. Last but not least, she also hosts Soul Talks with Alka on YouTube. She is here to give you insights into the world of real estate. So let me welcome both of them. Welcome Alka, welcome Makarand to ITV Gold, the American Dream Real Estate 101. How are you guys doing today?
Thank you, thank you. I'm honored to be with the winner. So in today's market, if you have bought a house, you have literally won the lottery. So today we're actually meeting the lottery winner. So we're excited about that.
Absolutely. My question to you, Makarand, how do you feel, after winning this? It's like winning a lottery, as Alka said.
Yeah, it is. I think one word is I'm feeling exhausted to start with, and before feeling happy, it is like exhaustion, and then slowly I'm trying to kind of get to the reality that actually I've won the bid and house is mine. So now I'm feeling a little bit sort of happy, going towards that from exhaustion to happy.
Nice. Makarand, how long ago did you start your buying journey?
So I started somewhere around just before COVID kind of started in beginning of 2020.
Oh wow! So the market kind of rose in front of you.
Oh yeah, right in front of me.
Oh,
right in
wow.
front of my eyes.
Okay.
Like it rose significantly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your initial starting price range?
So I started with around 600K is what and when looking back, it's like it feels wow. I was trying to look for a house around that price range, but that's where I started.
Okay.
600K.
So I'm just wondering, what was your criteria when you were looking for the homes?
So I think we are a family of three. So I was looking for a colonial, and I like basements. So that was one of the criteria from my perspective for my man's cave. The criteria was like 3 to 4 bedroom colonial with a basement, and I wanted to avoid a southwest as a direction. So these were the two kind of simple criteria, I would say.
The Vastu component was in there.
Yes.
So how many bids, or what happened as you caught onto the market? How many bids did you actually do, and what was your learning process through each bid?
Right. So I did quite a bit of bids in last 2 years. And my real estate broker was has been there throughout, kind of helped me through the whole process of bidding. I have I'm a first time buyer here,
yes.
So I didn't know the way the kind of process
Wow.
works, the bidding and the offer, and then you wait for seller to tell you.
But I think you did good,
not.
even though you are the first time home buyer and you did all this. It's really good.
Yeah, I would say I in this market, if I'm winning a bid, I'm kind of lucky. So that's I don't know. You have to put in your whatever effort. But in terms of bidding, it's like around before this, I actually I would have bidded around 10 properties.
So I have a question. When you bid $20,000 over, and you think, okay, I bid a lot over the asking price, right? What is that like once you put an offer in so much higher and then you lose it? What is going through your mind in the lost bids?
Yeah, so it's very difficult, right? It's like you're trying to price a stock. You don't know what is the when and you are and you know that you are in a peak market. So and going above that peak market, how much you want to go? I don't think there is any a fixed method or science there.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of look at the way market is reacting, go through first bid, and see how close you were to the winning bid, and just try to do a better kind of bidding job. And you just have to go higher and higher. and you always have that sort of feeling that am I overbidding? Yeah? So it just, I think it will come through experience. Once you start bidding in a couple of houses, you will go wrong in the initial bid, but at some point you will come to a point where, you know what, if I like this house, then it's kind of you want to go on the higher side of the bid, or you want to remain moderate.
But you're overbidding, right? So
Yeah, of
each
course.
one, I mean, you're
Yes.
in this market.
In this
Anyone
market.
who's in this market is overbidding.
Yes.
So there's not a question of that. It's how much overbidding do you want to do, right? And that's where you have to make. I think we'll talk about his house that he won, and against all odds, how did he win that? But at any point where you like, I'm done, I want to quit, like I've had it.
Oh yeah. I mean, in this market, as you said, it's a seller's market. Overbidding is given. You have to overbid. There's no question about that. It's such a demand supply is skewed, and a lot of times I did feel, should I postpone my decision to kind of push my decision for later. I did think about it.
So Makaran, tell me why you didn't quit. Because you're overpaying.
Yep.
You're overpaying over already a higher number.
Yep.
That the seller has put in, right?
Yeah.
So what is it that stopped you from not quitting?
Right. So I think once you accept the fact that the way the market is, that's the way the market is. It is seller's market, so it's going to be overbidding. Then the second question that you need to answer is, what is that your personal goal is? Because you are taking in such a high demand, less supply peak market, you know that you're overbidding,
Yes.
and you're paying more than you would have paid normally. So it boils down to what is that your personal goals are, and what is your risk appetite is. Buying in a peak market is always risky.
Yes.
So you have to convince yourself that why are you taking this risk? And from my own personal perspective, my thought process for taking that risk was, I have worked hard to do whatever that I'm doing in my career to move countries, come from India here. So I'm here for a purpose, and I should not be shying away from taking some of the risks. Like otherwise, what's the point of doing so much of putting so much of effort, moving continents? It's life is about taking risks. So
It really
I
is the
think
American dream.
That
really
is
It's
the
American
American
dream.
dream, and
Yeah.
I think you put it very well.
Yeah.
So, but I know our viewers would want to know your experience about, how you bid it and everything else.
Right. So in coming to my experience, I mean, it's just basically first, once you like the house, right, and you have your mind, so you need to feel happy about, I really want this house. One thing I ensure that I'm not bidding for every house.
Yes.
I only bidded for the house that I think, if I win the bid, I would really like to buy it.
Yep.
Right. So that's one thing for sure. And then the second thing, in terms of before deciding how much I want to bid, I will come up with my own valuation of the property. How much I am, so what I'm paying and what I'm going to get out of this. So am I convinced myself? It's like buying a car. Where, I can buy Lexus, I can buy Mercedes, I can buy whatever. But it's about how much,
Exactly.
what I'm getting for my money. It's the same sort of logic I applied. And then first bid, of course, wasn't good enough, because you don't know how much overbidding you should be doing. And then second bid I was closer, third bid I was closer, and then fourth onwards I was like, was very, very close, 5% of whatever the winning bid was, 2% of whatever winning bid was.
So let's talk about the house that you bought. First, what was the list price of the home that you bought? Because your original price, if you remember, is $600,000, right?
Yes.
So now, over the course, what is the price of the home that you actually bought?
Right. So like every new buyer, you pretty soon in the first couple of weeks realize, your budget is, you're always short budget. When it comes to real estate, you're always short on budget.
Expectations do not meet reality.
Absolutely.
So that's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, sorry, I forgot your question. What was the question?
So the question is, what price range was the house that you actually bid on?
Right. Okay. So it was listed for 760K.
So 160,000 to begin with, right?
Wow.
Yes.
So now, was it in mint condition?
No, it needed upgrade.
It needed upgrade. And what did you actually bid on it?
I bidded 830K. That's the winning bid.
That was the winning. That was the lottery winning numbers.
Yeah.
But so, what made you decide on a 70,000 extra?
So I was this was as I said, I was sort of bidding for the last 2 years.
Yes.
So I knew what kind of inventory that is there in the market, in
Right.
Edison market, essentially the market I was looking at, North Edison market. And I had some sense of my own sense of where the price range is for the kind of property, right?
Yes.
So this property was east-west facing and half an acre lot and very good size. The layout was really nice. So this is the house I liked from location perspective, from layout perspective, from the size of the house perspective. So I was very, very convinced with the house, right? And then it's just question of if I really want this house, then I know I might be paying few $1,000s more, but getting a similar kind of house again, it's sort of it's how much you are going to wait,
Right.
how much you are going to continue paying your rent. You have to do all that calculations,
Yeah.
and then you have to decide, okay, fine, how much you think that you are overpaying, and are you okay doing so, and what is the reason for that?
Right. So 830 was not your final price, right? Because you are essentially gutting the home.
Yep.
So when you were offering $70,000 over asking, you're also thinking of, right? Because a normal consumer will always say, I'm putting X amount, I still have so much work to do. So the house is costing me X plus whatever the contractor has told me, plus a variable, right? Things
Yeah.
change, numbers change, whatever. So the house is costing you a lot more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even then, what made you take the plunge?
Right. So I think it's more about pricing, right? How are you trying to price a product in the market, right? So I might think that price of a certain product is XYZ, but what I think doesn't really matter because it's question of demand supply. What is the market pricing that product for?
That's
so it's
right.
exactly same story here.
Right.
The market is pricing this kind of property at if the kind of property that I brought. And there's a lot of data points out there. So you go to Zillow and you go to like a lot of these websites. They will give you what are the houses of similar size and similar location, etc. What are they sold for, right? So there's a lot of data out there in a lot of these websites, and then with that you know for this kind of a house what's the price range market is pricing the house at, and you try to be closer at that, right? So coming back to this house, of course it was 830K. But if it was in a very mint condition, I know this house price in the current market is around whatever I will end up
paying.
at.
Yeah.
So I factored in the upgrade, and I guess of course it was listed factoring that this needed upgrade as well.
Yes.
So the market price of this house is what I bought plus upgrade. That's what the market price is in my view, and you can go wrong in your calculation, but that's what.
Yeah.
You have to calculate.
I think we need to come for the housewarming to see your house.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important. Banta hai,
It is.
na to banta hai. I mean, I think
Exactly.
it's-
Itna
Definitely.
definitely banta hai. But I want you to give as a buyer tips to everybody out there, especially when it comes to bidding and stuff like that. What do you have to say about that?
Right. So I think people, as I said, there's a lot of data available on a lot of these websites. So you'll have to definitely do your study.
Right. I do have a caveat on your data though. So I'm going to go in. What happens is if the Zillow is telling you the house closed for this much money, that house went under contract 3 months ago. The market has shifted in these 3 months. So you have to change that data variable, and market is very fluid, like Pia said, right? So right now it's in the peak of the market. Market may change, and if the market is going down, you have to factor that in too. But in 3 months, there were only 40 buyers out there. When he put the offer in, 20 buyers is who he won with. Now there's 19 buyers who think they're a step closer towards the next home, and 20 more entries into the market. So there's now again 39 people in the market, right? So the next house that comes, if you keep doing your Zillow study, it may or may not work because his house may no longer be 830. In this condition, the house may now be at 870 because people look at his home and say, if this house sold at 830, now I can price 870, right?
Exactly.
So your data point has to also change, keeping that market in mind. And that's why it's important to do the data, but it's also important to know what your demand is out there and be current with it.
Right. It's a very, very, very important and very, very valid point, right? So, in terms of the data, as I mentioned, it's more for your own kind of self-study.
Absolutely.
Right? But I soon came to realization that, and in this age of internet, we think that all the information is there at your fingertips and you will be able to make a very right informed decision. In terms of real estate, you're so wrong. You're so wrong, right? I realized that very soon. And that's where I guess having a right kind of real estate broker.
Absolutely.
And I'm honestly saying that it's
Absolutely
not as
true.
part of this program, but because real estate broker has pulse of the ground, like what's
Absolutely,
really
yes.
happening on a daily
Yes.
basis, as you rightly said.
Yes.
You know what, Zillow and everything, these are a lag. There is a data lag there.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So you and real estate brokers have leading indicators with them.
Yes.
And one of the real estate
It's
brokers
like, she gets like, for example, a real estate broker will every day, they know what's going on in the market.
Absolutely.
For the internet, the data is like there after a month, the data will be
Yes,
there.
right. Exactly.
So,
And they know the psychology of seller really well.
Yeah.
Right?
And the buyer.
And and the buyer as well,
Yes,
of course.
and the
I
buyers.
learned that through a kind of experience. Like one of the broker told me initially when I went to see a house, and I was like, I don't know why this is listed for so high, and I was trying to bid low than the price, than the listing price, and the broker said, this is not how it works. If the last house is sold for X, similar house in next week is going to be listed for X plus whatever. That's how the seller's market kind of works. So all that intelligence is going to come from your your partner, your real estate broker.
Absolutely. So when you buy a home, whatever you buy it for now becomes the comparable for the next home. So it is, you either make the comparable or you are the comparable. So you have to decide which one you want to be and kind of take that. And again, until he had to lose 9 homes to get the 10th home. Very few people win in the first or second. There are people out there who win, but very few people. You have to be that horse that wins by 0.1 second, right? You may not win by a lot, or you may win by a lot because you don't know, but you are that horse that just steps a little bit further, and you have to be that horse that trains. And sadly, it comes with the high-low of the emotions that train.
Yeah, and there is no formula to win a race.
There's
right?
no formula.
The only formula to win a race is you run faster and hope that you are the fastest.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the other people are running at. So you just have to love the home enough to like it. But all that said, there still really is there are tips that you can give. So what are the tips that, like Pia said, it's important to give to the buyers.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Everybody needs to know.
Everybody needs to know.
So I'm just kind of sharing my
Yes,
experience.
of course.
I don't know whether I should call them tips or not, but I guess having, don't think, and there is a lot of data out there. There's a lot of variation. Every day things change. There are a lot of things happening around the world that impacts the pricing of the market, etc. So there are so many variables. You can't do it alone, in my view. You definitely need to take help from people who are expert in this space, right? You need to do your study. You need to have your own knowledge, but you need to definitely take help. That's one thing. You should have a good real estate broker partner, in my view. It's worth the money spent, absolutely.
And you're not even paying them.
Yeah.
As a buyer, you're not paying them.
As a buyer, you're not paying them
right.
anyway.
So it doesn't really, it behooves you not to use
Right.
this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm a realtor, I'm not saying, I'm just telling you, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Not to. It doesn't make any sense.
No, and it's important because before bidding, when you arrive at the decision that you really like the house, there's so many things to be able to come to that decision.
Yes.
It's not just about, okay, I like the location, I like the layout. There are so many things going on in the house.
Yeah.
This, the northeastern market houses are 30, 40 plus years old houses.
Yeah.
And you need to know.
Makran, before you go further, I just wanted to ask you, there definitely are so many things, like with your family, like with your wife, since you were looking for the house and when you were bidding, and was she like with you on bidding, or she was like, no, we don't want to do this. Let's wait for a while and, we can do it later.
So I guess it's like everyone will have views, right?
Different.
Within husband and wife as well. You have different
No,
views,
I
which is
just
good.
wanted to know,
Yeah. So it's a stressful thing.
It's a very stressful. It's a very
stressful.
So just as a data point, buying a home is the 5th most stressful event of your life. It is, and in today's market, I probably would say it's the 4th. And it's like, public speaking is number 1, so I think he's conquering that. Number 2 is death of somebody you love. Number 3 is divorce. Number 4 is marriage. And then number 5 is...
I think in today's market, I would even put this before marriage.
Yeah,
because
it's
the way
really
it is
very,
intense,
very stressful. Yeah.
Exactly.
When you get it, right? When you got it, did you have a second of remorse saying, crap, did I pay too much?
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That buyer's remorse, what you guys call it, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, I had that remorse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with every bid, I had that, even after knowing that I did not get the bid, even after that, I was like, maybe I did overbid. This guy is paying too much. So after winning, of course, I had, absolute. So, and I felt that about myself as well. Like, I don't know why did I pay so much, but you go through that.
You go through that, yeah. See, these are it's important to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, because it's what you're going through in the market. We're there to guide you as fairly unemotional people, right? We're in the market and we're giving you guidance counselors, but you're the ones who are going through it all. Your bank accounts are emptying
I
as
think
we
this
speak.
is very emotional. When
Very
you're going
emotional,
through it,
yeah.
Yes.
it's like the emotional phase of your life because
Yes.
you're not sure if you're going to get it or if you're not going to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after, and there are things the things that worry you, that after you get it, what kind of surprises that you are going to get along with this, right?
Exactly.
So it's not just it's just stressful.
Yeah,
But that's why they say inspection, get a home inspection done before hand, so that you know what's coming.
Absolutely. But at the end, after your bank account is empty, and after you just get that little key instead of that, is it worth it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why you call it as American dream, right? Like it's definitely worth it. And everything that is worth will take effort.
That's right.
Will be stressful. Will take your mind and your energy,
Absolutely.
right? But yeah, it is definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm yet to move in, so but I'm
He's
hoping
still
that's-
working on it. But with that, we would like to say thank you so much. It was wonderful. It's important for you guys to hear that. But if you have any other further questions, you can always reach out to me at On Track Realty. Ajay is working with Makarand from our office. So we're here to help you with anything that you need. 732-494-2211 is our direct office number. But reach out
And
to
yes, Makarand, I want to wish you all the best for this real American dream, which you won. And it's definitely a lotto for you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show and sharing your journey. It really was a lot of fun.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you
Yes.
and knowing all the bidding part. And first I thought this bidding is going to be like, action movie jaise hoti hai Bollywood mein.
It
It's
is.
going to be like that. I think it's more than that.
It feels like that. It's a climax scene and uske baad
It's like a Matrix movie. You have to really,
Yes.
you have to put your mind and brain to it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for it.
Thank you, Makarand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we will be back next week, same time, with a different topic related to real estate. And I also want to remind all the viewers to follow us on our Facebook handle at ITV Gold. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for news on community, entertainment, and events in US and India. I am Pia Jyoti Khatru, wishing you all well until next time.